So there's a difference between fermented okra and pickled okra. So pickled okra is they use vinegar, okay, like making pickles. You can do fermented pickles or you can do vinegar pickles. So we do not heat this. This is all fermented okra. We set it out for, I think, 7 days. You can go 10, but you don't want to go longer. Bree did it longer, and hers started to turn black. And you never want to see black or blue in your ferments, ever. A little white is okay, but not black or blue. So, did you guys try the okra?
I love it. I've never had it.
Yes, and so this is still pretty crunchy, too.
I love it. It's crunchy.
So this is the red okra, and that I got, and that's why the liquid looks red.
How do you let it ferment? How do you
And so I just stuffed as much okra in that jar as I could, and then I just put 2 tablespoons of salt in it, and then I fill it with filtered water. What you have to do, and I'll repeat this next month, but what you have to do is the water level comes down and the okra floats to the top, and I had to keep adding water every few days, every 2 or 3 days. And some of my okra got really bad because it literally, I went on vacation and it sucked down to about here, and you've got to keep it covered. So, and the problem is I think the okra is hollow inside. So it soaks the water up gradually over the weeks. And even while it was in the fridge, I would have to go and add a little bit of water to it. So I keep a little jar of salt water, and I go check my okras, and I just keep adding it until so it stays completely submerged and it's fine. So you can get little discs that fit on top, but the problem with the okra, it has these stems and they go around the disc sometimes, so it doesn't always keep everything down. So I just keep adding water just to make sure there's no white growing on it. I put 2 tablespoons per quart. I just dump the salt in out of a spoon and I measure. I do 2 tablespoons and then I fill it with water.
What kind of salt? Any particular kind?
I use you don't have to, but I don't know if it's a good idea to use table salt. It may be. I've always used sea salt, either pink Himalayan, which is why it looks pink on the bottom, because some of the stuff from the pink Himalayan salt settles. But you can use white sea salt, you can use real salt from Utah. So you see this level is down, so when I take this home, I'm going to make sure to fill it back up, with some salt water. So, so it's super easy, especially when you have a bunch of okra every year. And this is so good for us to eat 1 or 2 pieces with our meal. So my daughter's a chef, and I've said this before, but she says our mouth likes sweet, salty, savory, and sour. And when you mix those flavors together when you're eating a meal, it makes it taste so good. So it's always good. You can put this in salad, you can put this just eating with any vegetables, anything. The other really good thing about okra is it's mucilaginous. So it has that mucin inside of it. You know how if some people don't like okra because it's slimy, but that is really good for our gut. So that mucin surrounds the food we eat, and it helps our food move more slowly through. It helps us get nutrients better, and it helps line our gut with that mucin. So it's just really, really good for us to even eat okra and other foods too, but okra is really good with that mucilaginous. The other thing about okra is it's got a lot of fiber. It may have more fiber than some other foods that are softer. And so I have the okra, and I'm cutting the little tips off, and I'm going to put it in this jar. I'm boiling water just to refresh the jar. And that's all I do. And I stuff this jar as full as I can get it. And then I put filtered water in here. This is tap water that I'm boiling, but I put filtered water in here. Stuff it as hard and full as I can get it. And then add filtered water. And I'll put in 4 tablespoons of salt, give or take. And then put this lid on it. And I will throw some boiling water over this as well. Let it sit on the counter for 7 days. I will probably have to add a little bit of water as I go because the okra will soak up into the center, the hollow center, some of the water. And I got to make sure it stays, the okra stays below. I also have some little glass pieces this year. I think they're up in the cupboard, that will fit right on top and keep the okra down as well. So I'm going to put those in just to make sure I don't get any spoilage at the top. So we will be fermenting more okra again this year like we did last year. We really like it. I like it better than sauerkraut. And I eat it all through the year at the clinic. I have it in the fridge there. And I put it in with salads and different foods. So we will continue to talk more about how these fermented foods, different types like kimchi and kraut and okra and different things, because of the sour, salty flavor, they taste very, very good with sweet and savory foods. So I did it again this week. I was eating some leftovers from the freezer. I think it was pork and vegetables, which was sweet and savory. I added some kimchi to it, and I couldn't believe how well it popped in my mouth. It just tastes good to put all those flavors together. So this okra serves to do that as well as things like kimchi and sauerkraut and beets and other fermented foods. I'm not sure I get the same benefit from the fermented garlic because it's a little bit spicier. So, but we definitely get that benefit from these vegetables from the garden. I know I look really hot and sweaty, and my t-shirt's kind of hanging off of me because I've been in the garden picking green beans, weeding the strawberries, and helping with cleanup, getting ready for more vegetables to go in this fall, and doing videos. So my water's boiling, so I'm going to pour it in here. Ooh, that's hot. And then I take this into my sink, kind of swish it around. And then I pour it on my lid. And that's usually good enough. I don't usually get any I don't have any issues with my okra in this jar. So I'm going to start stuffing it in a minute and see. I have a box full of okra right here. So I should be able to fill this jar up completely and get everything set to ferment for the next 7 days. One last thing I didn't mention is I do not wash this. It's grown organically. We don't put any chemicals on it. So I do not put chlorinated water from the tap on all these. I do dust them off, and we want the particular microbiome from our garden to be in this ferment. So those are things that I think will feed our gut hopefully really well, and some of the things we're going to be studying in our clinic and through eating fermented foods over the next few years. So I tip it over sideways, and I put some upright, and then I turn some down the other way in both directions, so that the skinny part it kind of makes sense to do this. And then I usually save the little ones to tuck in. Try to do the bigger ones first, because the little ones I can tuck in some of the smaller places. And so we just keep stuffing and stuffing all the way to the top as much as we can get in here, like this. Okay. So I won't make you watch me do all of this until I fill it up, and I'll show you when it's completely full. All right, my jar's full, and I finished cutting the little tops off of these. So I just do it, I don't know, I think because I feel like it might fit better in the jar, but I don't go below that. I leave that whole top on so that I don't get into the okra pod itself. So I just take those off, and typically they might have a little bit of brown edge or something, sometimes not. But anyways.